Hey, on. You guys came at the very start of the game. Didn't seem to be, I don't know, probably playing as well as you would have liked. What was missing there about the first, I don't know, 15 minutes?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I think the way we came out lacked a little bit of belief in ourselves, like a little bit of energy as well, and that's the message. That was the message at halftime, and that was the message at the end. Is like I think we gave them a little too much respect, playing away, playing against a good team. I think there was a little bit of that. I think we needed to be a little bit more physical, a little bit more maybe feisty in those moments, and stand our ground. So again, I think we grew into the game. This is our first away game, so it's everything is new for us at the moment, where we're trying to learn some lesson, and I think today we had a good one.
What are some positives you can take out of this game?
The mindset is the biggest one for me. We kept going. We kept trying to build up, trying to play, try to create opportunities. You saw Sedi again at the end, like that was close to score for us. We kept pressing, we kept defending high, kept being brave. That's again something I'm proud of. It shows a lot of character and personality to keep doing that in a tough place to play against a good opponent. Again, San Diego is a good team. They showed it against tonight. But I thought we stayed brave like all the way long, and we kept relying on our principles. And for me, that's a positive step forward.
What is Seti's situation now? How is his minutes coming along? Because he seemed to play pretty well in the 26 minutes he was out there.
Yeah, I said he was good. Like he had a great impact on the game. Again, those games they open up towards the end. There's a lot of also distance to cover, like a lot of running to do. So we're trying to be mindful of where he's at physically. Like the intensity of the game is something that we cannot control. So right now, that's more like what we're trying to assess, like is how intense the game is and how much is he gonna have to do, like in terms of the physical output. Again, like with his abilities on the ball, off the ball, to read the game, to understand like what's asked from him. Like I thought he was great again tonight, and slowly we're building him back to playing more minutes. At the minute, we're just trying to manage where he's at and understand how much he can produce in terms of like playing time.
We go to Justin.
Which obviously it's hard to play this match without Marcel Hartel, but the decision to go with Miggy Perez in that spot to start this match, can you talk a little about like what you've seen from him in training that made you think that he was going to be ready to go tonight?
Again, we're playing away. We're gonna play away. You know that defensively we're gonna have to be like well organized. Like we're gonna have pressure on the ball. We're gonna have to cover a lot of ground. Chelo is capable of doing that and still bringing some offensive qualities. But Miggy has trained well. He went through preseason like really well as well. So I've been pleased with his performances, and the one last week when he came on. And I thought for me it was logical in terms of like the way we wanted to press, also the way we wanted to attack. Like he showed me in preseason, he was able to fill in those positions, and also like the volume and the physicality he's bringing to the game. I thought was gonna be interesting tonight. And again, I thought like it was a tough task for him, but I thought like in terms of what we asked him, like he did great tonight.
And then in the second half to bring Celio on and for that role as well. How did you feel he did? Because this was his first minutes this season.
Yes, Celio, like he brings some energy. He's gonna stretch the pitch. He brings some pace. He brings some 1v1 as well. I still have like high demand from him, like in terms of like output and in terms of like how he uses the ball and like his decision making at times. But I thought he brought us some energy. Like I wish we could have made that sub before we conceded the second goal to see like how close we could get to get back in the game. Unfortunately, that second goal came just before we made the change. But again, he's got some abilities to create, like in 1v1, like to move a lot, to isolate out wide, or also to stretch the pitch when he plays a little bit more inside. So I thought he brought that element to the game for the last 30 minutes.
Thanks, Coach.
We go to Matt.
Coach, wondering if there was any thought about changing how you wanted your build to occur, knowing how effective San Diego was being in their press and in their movements. Was there ever a thought to change some of the underlying tactics, especially in the later parts of the halves?
The thing that I find interesting is like I don't know how much their press was efficient, or I don't know how much we forced the play and we had some turnover because we rushed our decision. So I didn't think their press was like a big key in like turning the ball over. I thought like we forced the play and didn't use the weak side enough. I thought like at times we tried to accelerate when maybe the time was to keep the ball and to just get set in the opposition half. So again, like I didn't see anything tonight that I didn't expect going into the game in terms of the way they pressed. It's just like little decision here and there that affect the build-up. But again, I'm quite pleased with what I saw, the energy, like the positioning of the guys. Like I think sometimes as the game goes and you're trying to push, you're losing a little bit of structure, which I have to understand and accept because you're trying to get back into the game. But like I said, I thought the players were brave, kept applying themselves to what we ask, and then like you have to rely on the profile of the players in certain areas. So having Miggy in the position higher up in the pocket is gonna give you something different than having Cello or than having like Celio, for example, tonight. So just having that understanding in terms of like the option that offers like on the build-up is something important, and I think that was potentially like the thing looking back that made a difference at some point.
What did you see at halftime with the sub that you made with Thomas Tolland coming in for Rafael Santos, making that double substitution as you kind of alluded to last week? And then after you answer that, can you give us an update on Thomas Tolland?
We thought like Rafa physically was probably like a bit tired for me. Like I needed some more freshness like on the side. I thought the matchup with Conrad and Dreyer was going to be interesting in terms of like having a right footer as well playing on that side. So like going into the game, I thought like having more Conrad on that side with also his dynamism to attack like in the back of Dreyer was gonna be interesting, and having Totti on the other side was also gonna sort out some issues on the right side and bring a different picture than in the first half. Unfortunate for Totti's injury. Like I don't know what it is. Like it's definitely something muscular. That we're going to have to assess and see where he's at.
We'll finish things off with Tom Turner.
Did you know earlier in the week that Marcel was not going to be available today, or was that kind of a last-minute thing?
No, that was last minute. Of course, we've been knowing for a while that Cello is expecting his second child, which we're really happy for him and his wife. So the closer we got to the game, like I think things changed a little bit like just before we left, which obviously changed the decision to travel or not for him and for us as well. So again, like there is things that are bigger than soccer. Having a second child is definitely one of them. So like we support him fully. Like he couldn't be there this weekend. He was the first one disappointed, but at the same time he's expecting the most beautiful news that any human being could have. Like so that's the reason why he wasn't with us.
And you rostered Mbake today. If things played out differently, would you? I guess you would have used him if he was available. And what would have taken for him to get in the game?
He was available, but I was quite pleased with the way Lucas came in last week. So I must say, like right now, like we're reinforcing like what we've been doing, which is like rewarding performances and hard work and guys that have been like buying into everything. And Mbake just arrived, so like I wasn't gonna throw him in the mix like too early, like for no reason. Of course, there were some scenarios where it would have been a possibility tonight. But the logical decision for me was, again, Lucas has been training well. He performed really well last week when he came in against Charlotte. So I thought tonight he was the man to come in at the end of the game.
And you had some chances, and you just looked like the finishing once again just isn't there right now.
Yes, I thought we had some decent chances. I thought Simon got one to make it 1-1 in the first half. We could have been like something very different. I also thought like we got a break where the foul got called like as we were going. We had a couple of chances like here and there in first half, in the second half. Is it enough to win the game? Maybe not. Is it enough to maybe get back in and get a 1-1 draw and keep pushing towards the end? it's a possibility. So again, that's something we're gonna have to keep looking at. But I thought we were able to create like danger. I thought the biggest one is definitely the one of Simon and the one of Cedric towards the end. Like I said, I like the energy. I like the fact that we kept pushing, that guys kept pressing high at the end of the game, trying to force turnover, but also kept attacking and created those chances like in the last 10-15 minutes of the game.
We'll actually finish with Matt Baker. Go ahead, Matt.
Coach, this game offered some different looks with some different players, bringing Salio into the attack as opposed to Mackay. It seems like now we're seeing a few different options than we did in preseason. Are these situational matchups that you're seeing, or are you seeing more development from different players in different parts of the field?
Yeah, again, I'm trying to rely a lot on what I see in training. Our players are working, our players are performing every single day, but also the profile that they're bringing. I fought on that left side in the first half. You probably saw like 1 or 2 runs of Miggy in behind between the fullback and the center back. Godoy was more like in charge of like defending on Miggy, so I thought like having Celio there in second half could have been interesting in terms of like maybe stretching the pitch a little bit. But I'm gonna rely heavily on like how the players are performing on a daily basis to make those decisions. So right now, like there is a mix of like understanding where the players are at, what are they gonna give us when they come in, but also the profile that they bring in when they step onto the pitch. So right now there's a mix like in terms of our decision of all of that, what we've seen like in the first 7 weeks of the season, like with pre-season as well, and making those decisions based on those 2 factors.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it,
Yoann.
guys.
Thank you guys. Have a good evening.
Great. See you.
Bye.
All right, guys, we have Jaziel here. Tom, go ahead and kick us off.
The start of the game, it looked like you guys came out slow and it just put you guys in a hole that you could never really get out of. What was missing?
They're a very good team. They just have a lot of good numbers on the behind the ball, which they have a lot of options when they play out. Took us a little bit of a time to actually put pressure to step up the lines a little bit, and I felt we did that. Like in the middle of the game of the first half, it was a tough battle, tough to deal with those switches that they had. It was always from the right side to the left side with their left-footed guys on the right side from their team, and it was tough to defend. I think we could have did a good job in locking them in one side and prevent those switches, but they did pretty good in that.
Look at you guys settled down. It looked like after 15 minutes or so, you were more on even terms.
Yeah, of course. It was once we had the feel of the game, feel of being first game away as well. You have to get like the feeling of the game, where you're standing, how many players are they drop with the ball, and just communication with the guys. At the end of the day, it's just communicating what can we do better in the foul, and just gather and say what can we do better and put a little bit more pressure on the wingbacks, and also just be better positioned. And at the end, I think it was better. The goal was a little bit unlucky as well. Just have the ball in their side, and we just on the counter. It was a good ball from, I believe, number 7 and to Dreyer, and it was a good finish. But I think it was just also finishing our chances, being more clinical when we're away from home. But we'll bear from it. We'll bear from it for us for sure. And
Are there a lot of lessons to be taken from this game?
Yeah, for sure. It's a team that's still growing, that's still getting the ideas from Yoann, and look, I think we never stop running. We're always pushing to get some pressure on the ball, even though they did pretty well to get out of stuff, but nothing to look down on. Chin up, and we go next week against Seattle.
We go to Justin.
Jaziel, when Tomas Talon has to leave the game and then Lucas McNaughton comes on and pushes you out to the wing back, can you talk a little bit about just like some of the difficulties of the moment of having to transition out wide and then kind of play a different role than you had been playing the rest of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I've played right back before.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm used to. It's something that I can afford to the team for sure. And it's stuff that's going to happen as well for Cedric coming in, like people coming in and Lucas coming in, like everyone's gonna have to make a sacrifice in the day, and I don't know, it's something that I can do. It's something to afford to the team, and if the coach tells me to play left back or wing back or I don't know whatever position, we're all gonna step to it, and yeah, it was part of the game.
It comes after that second goal, but after that point, it seemed like there were some moments to kind of build forward and have a little bit more momentum. Like, did it feel like things had maybe settled down for you guys over the back half, maybe the back half of the second half even?
Yeah, I mean, I think we finished again like the first half. We finished that first chance. It's a different story. We have to learn from it, be more clinical when we're away from home, and we have to be perfect in those situations. We have to take advantage of those. And when you're away and you score a goal, like the other team, like you give them a shock. You know that we're there. And also like in the second half, we put that one away. Who knows what could have happened? So we'll learn from it again, and we'll finish them. Hopefully, we can finish them in the beginning. I mean, in the next games that we have, and yeah, we should just keep on working.
Matt?
Jaziel, what's the decision making like when you're playing it out of the back against a team like San Diego, composed, looking to do somewhat of the similar things that you guys are wanting to do? What goes into making those decisions as you see this kind of team attack you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always staying connected with each other. We've been working on that a lot, and I feel like it's coming together pretty well. There were some moments that we built out, and we were like in the front foot. After that, we went at their back line. And we can see that building. We can see that being our identity at the end of the day. And I feel we're not scared to play. We wanted that team to like build out from the back, keep possession, but also be on the front foot attacking, have the ball behind their front five guys and go at them. If we can do that as well, we showed that a little bit in last week against Charlotte, and not just like when we had that ball up top in the last quarter of the field, then we can finish our chances and maybe put a little bit more more dangerous balls into the box.
And what do you feel that you guys need to improve on when you're in those transition defense moments and you have some spacing options, stepping up, dropping back? What do you feel you need to improve in those few moments that are leading to some of these goals allowed?
I think sometimes it's like we have to be a little bit of arrogant when it comes to like transition, have make a foul, stop the play. I think we could have done that in the first goal, and also just be a little bit more connected within the back line. I think it was by an inch he could have been offside, and also it was a good finish. It was a good play in the counter, but it's one of the best teams that do that. San Diego is one of the teams that you've given one chance, one counter, they can just take advantage of that, and we just need to be better. Again, it's just making that foul, making the little bit of the game a little bit dirty, so we can regroup and be behind the ball again. But we're gonna keep working on it, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ozzy.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Guys, I'm trying to get Cedric in here right now, so like, I'm doing the best you can every day. That's really all it is.
Hey.
I don't think you can hear it. All right, guys, we got Cedric here. Tom, Justin, go ahead and kick us off.
Hey,
Sorry, Tom, Justin, go ahead.
okay, yeah, Justin, go.
Yeah, Seti, how are you feeling after getting into the game and having a pretty long run out there?
I feel good. Of course, we lost the game, so the feeling is not the best, but we keep going. Next week we have another chance to win the game, but I feel good. I'm happy about the minutes, so yeah.
You got into some good areas tonight too. That in like the last 5 minutes, making that run into the box, and like how in the moment where you just started to read some of the spaces that were opening up, like towards the end of this game, that seemed like some more chances were coming.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good to find a good spot to receive the ball to get into the dribble. The training week was good. I had a good feeling. I feel every day better on the pitch. My body give me good signals, so I'm really happy to be back on the pitch, and
Thanks.
Matt?
Teddy, what are the conversations like with staff on your availability, your minutes? What's going into pushing yourself week to week? Is it Is it how your body is feeling? Is there a prescribed plan the team has for you?
Of course, I'm in touch with the medical team, with the coaching team. My body is feeling good. Adapt still. Of course, I missed a lot of games. I was out for a couple of months, so it needs time. But I think I'm feeling good. Training week was really good for me. I have a good feeling. The coach knows that I'm feeling good, and the rest is out of control.
How do you feel like you're adapting to this new style of play? Do you feel that this, at least in what you've entered the games as and what you're seeing in the games, does this fit you as a player, and how do you feel that this is getting the most out of you?
I think it's a really good system for me. The coach wants to play a lot of football, connection between the guys, and I think I fit really good in the system, between the lines, going to the dribble. So I think it's a really good fit for me as a player. Now I just needs the minutes, the game fitness, and then the rest will come.
Tom Thurman?
Cedric, what's the road like? The road getting back into this been like for you? How tough has it been being out as long as you have, and both mentally and physically?
Of course, it's tough, but I tried everything to help the team with some good actions, maybe with the goal. Yeah, I tried everything today. I think I had some good actions at the end of the day, but yeah, I'm come closer to get the game fitness back. So as I said, I'm in touch with the medical staff, with the coaching staff, and yeah.
Is the next stop, you went 26 minutes tonight, is 45 minutes like the next stop, which, possibly starting?
I mean, it's not in my control. I just try in every training session to show the coaching that I'm fit, that I'm here, that I want to play every game, every minute. Of course, maybe 90 minutes it's maybe too much, but of course the next step will be 45, 60 minutes, and I feel really good. Last week I had 4 minutes, good 4 minutes. Maybe I can score the winning goal this game. I had also 25 minutes, so the next step is maybe 45 or 60 minutes. So I'm ready to go.
On that play where you dribbled the ball almost into the goal, what did you see there in front of you as you make that run?
A lot of San Diego players, then the keeper, and then I missed the ball. I think I was pretty close to the goalie to find the way into the goal. Maybe I need a little bit more luck next time. I think one guy was on the line and cleared the ball.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I have these actions, I have these dribbles. So I was really good in the game, good action. So I'm happy, but we lost the game, and we keep going next week. We have a short week to Seattle for the turnaround. So yeah, we keep building, and but I think we had some good pressing moments, some good build up from the back. That's what we need.
Is finishing like the next step? I mean, you haven't played as much, you haven't been on the ball as much. Is that something that takes some time?
Of course, finishing is it's the most important thing. Score goals. I think Simon had a good opportunity in the first half. Maybe we need this last, how can I say, luck maybe. The last, how can I say, the willness to score the goal, to want to score the goal. So, but the good thing is we have the opportunities. And yeah, the next step is to score goals, to kill the game, and win the games. Yeah.
Thank you, Cedric.
Thank you.
Say thank you.
I missed your hat, Tom.
I'm in my dining room.
Okay.
I'll have it on Tuesday
Yeah, or Wednesday, yeah, maybe.
or Wednesday, whenever you're back.
Yes. Perfect.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thanks, Ed.
Exciting.